Where are you going to start?
Well, because we mentioned that Dr. Phillips had suggested that he would retire if he lost. I'll just say that again. I'm not certain if that will happen, but he did say yesterday that if the PNP lost, he would probably give it up.
Very definitively.
Yeah.
He said.
He said that clearly.
Right.
But I don't think anyone thought that he would only have 14 seats. So I'm not certain if that would change his mind to probably try to hang around to. I don't know.
The discussion I now see, and I hear all of the analysts talking about, is what happens next.
Yeah.
Because if he steps aside, given what happened in the election, who steps out?
Well, that's my point. When I said, given what happened, maybe he won't step aside. No, I don't know. But we have to wait and see. But you would know by now that the GLP won 49 to 14 seats. I think that's a huge surprise to everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, I think most people would have been surprised by that. But I guess in the days to come, when the analysts break it out, we'll see what some of the factors were. Rough time to be calling an election during a pandemic, so that in itself would have been a major thing. I think BBC carried an article yesterday, and the headline was like, Jamaicans vote in the midst of a pandemic type thing, which it's kind of cringy, but enough people went out and made their voices heard.
And you would have heard that we're not the first or the only country. Trinidad and Tobago had elections 2 weeks ago, and it's in the middle of the pandemic, so not the only country. But there were some surprises for me personally, but I'm going to read, and this came out last night at something to 11 o'clock, and it says, it was shocking defeat for PNP, which saw a surprising upset for several of its top stalwarts and popular names, among them Peter Bunting, Manchester Central, Wickham McNeil, Westmoreland Western, Luther Buchanan, Westmoreland Eastern, Fenton Ferguson in St. Thomas Eastern, who also said it would have been his last run at the polls. Dayton Campbell in St. Anne, Northwestern, Colin Fagan in St. Catherine, Richard Dezan in Clarendon, Horace Daly, Ian Hales, Imani Duncan Price, Dwayne Vaz, Shane Alexis, Victor Wright, Andre Horton, Basil Wake, Walton Small, Crystal Tomlinson.
All right.
Waving Hines.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Woo,
And there were some shockers in there.
And I mean, Cessa was a shock that Lisa Hanna won her seat by 14, 1,002. Recounts will be held. I understand that's a part of the process as a norm, as a matter of course for
the close ones. The really
for
close.
all of them,
all
apparently. I was just reading.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
By the way, in the meantime,
foolishness, but for sure those will be.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The JLP won 406,764 of the popular votes, while the PNP won 305,000, and a total of 1,161 votes went to independent candidates and third parties, it says. Electoral Office of Jamaica said the overall voter turnout was approximately 37% compared to the 47.
Wow.
Well, this says 48.37 in the 2016.
Cycle.
Yeah, you're right. Each returning officer will commence the final count of all the ballots for his or her constituency.
And I think if there's further query, then it goes to a magisterial recall.
You're right.
Right.
You're right. But again, congrats to the Prime Minister, Most Honourable Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party, because I don't think there would have been any members of Parliament after they dissolved Parliament. So they kind of have to almost start again, you know. But he was still the Prime Minister, and he is still the Prime Minister. So congrats, sir. And again to the 14 who won for the People's National Party. Congratulations.
And as Paul said last night, it's really a time for them to introspect, to dig deep, to find out what the issues are, and to rebuild the party, which is really the right thing for any party that loses an election. It is an opportunity for you to see what the issues are and to see how you can meet them in time, and also to be a good opposition, which, you know, that's a concern people have now, is that the scale
balance,
is so...
Yeah. That's what I said. They can just, anything the government wants to pass now will to be passed quite easily. But you made a great point that and the PNP will do it. They will kind of look back and see what happened.
They have to.
The last time they lost by one seat, and when they did their introspection, it came out that apparently they felt they were a little arrogant because they expected to win. I'm not certain what would be the reason for this, but
Also winning last night, Nev, we have to say, was our TVJ team.
Yep.
Like,
Coverage
it was a very good look. Both is set, both the graphics, coverage was fantastic. Our hosts were beautiful and handsome, respectively, and we know the level of work that goes into this from the folks who are on the ground: Janella, Karen, Anthony, Jordan, Giovanni. I saw so many of you out in the different areas with the cameramen who we don't get to see, the sound people. And the people who are on the ground in the studios that you don't see working on this. It was a mammoth task, and you guys did a bang-up job. So congratulations to the entire team on pulling it off and putting it off so well.
Fantastic work to all of us. This is quite unfortunate that we had 2 more COVID-19 deaths in the last 24 hours, which puts it up to 29 COVID-19 related deaths in Jamaica. Also, Jamaica recorded 74 new positive tests, pushing the total to 2,896. It says both deceased had comorbidities, namely diabetes and hypertension. The Health Ministry notes that the island has also recorded 1 additional case of a coincidental death of a person confirmed with SARS-CoV-2. I'm not certain what that means.
Same thing. SARS-CoV-2 is
no, but when you say a coincidental death, what do they mean by that? Not certain what that means. It says this is a case that was previously recorded as a death under investigation, and the case is a 56-year-old male from Clarendon. The new cases: 36 females, 38 males, ages ranging from 12 to 76. Kingston and St. Andrew 25, St. Catherine 14, St. Thomas 5, Manchester 6, St. Anne 1, St. James 1, St. Elizabeth 21, and Westmoreland 1. And the Health Ministry says all of the new cases are under investigation.
I think a coincidental death is a death that would have been ruled attributable to something else, but when they check post-mortem, then they discover the person also had COVID.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean it was COVID that killed the person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. What's the next one?
Are we doing this one?
No.
Connectivity? Or the last page?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah? All right. The JLP is saying that it plans to expand investments in digital technologies. School is now front and center, folks. September is on us, so schools are going to start shortly. Well, some of them at any rate, starting online. So the JLP says it's completing the installation of broadband connection in more than 100 schools to increase access to education and connectivity, which is needed to facilitate distance learning objectives. They've outlined additional phases of increased broadband. They say they're going to train, integrate and develop the blended learning approach, so face-to-face with technological, in order to ease the demand for additional teachers and classrooms given physical distance requirements. So it says it's going to expand the tablets in schools initiative, starting with the procurement of more than 100,000 devices for teachers and students, and then building beyond that number with creative solutions that focus on access for students in need. Very important initiative now, since school is, as I said, looking to begin some as soon as next week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think St. George's starts on the 14th,
Yeah.
straight online.
Yeah.
Straight
Yeah,
online. 3 Scotiabank employees test positive for COVID-19. They said the affected staff members were sent home. They've not been back to work, so they're looking after everything. I was telling...
Is that the head office?
Yeah, I was telling Sim earlier that I was having a chat with my son yesterday, and I was asking him if everything was all right, and he says yes, because he's kind of antisocial. He says, stay away from people. So I said, great. And about half an hour later, I got a message from him that when he went to work, they told him that someone tested positive on his shift, and he was sent home to do a test. So I pray that he'll be all right. I also pray for Teddy Johnson and those who got shot yesterday. Jermaine Johnson, former national player, former professional player, now plays with Tivoli Gardens. And a young lady also played netball for Tivoli that was also shot. So I pray that they're okay. And I didn't see anything about Toots since they put him in the coma. So I pray that he'll be all right. Let's pray for them, please. All right.